Hey there, welcome to our YouTube channel. Since this is our very first video, I'm going to ask you, like all professional YouTubers do, which we are not, I'm going to ask you to hit subscribe down below, as well as the thumbs up on this video. It'll help us get this brand new channel up and running so we can go from 1 viewer to 2 to 10. Who knows, maybe one day we'll hit 100. As you can tell, this is our first video, so definitely cut us a bit of slack. I follow so many great travel channels out there. They've got amazing camera work, drone footage, professional editing. This will not be one of them. We might get there over time. The information we've learned from other YouTube channels has been incredible. So we thought we could share some of our experiences and what we've learned over the years and hopefully inspire, help, and motivate others to come along on the journey with us. I think the best place to start is by introducing ourselves and really what we hope to share and achieve on this new channel. So I guess I'll go ahead and start. I'm Mark, and we've been married along with Monica here for over 25 years, and we've traveled to 88 countries at the time of this recording. The count happens really naturally. As you get out there and explore, we want to get to over 100 countries, but I can say for me, it's really a lot less about trying to collect countries and more about going places I've always wanted to experience, we've always wanted to see, and doing it that way. Personally, my love of travel, it started at a really young age. I almost can't tell you why. My family couldn't travel very much growing up. It really wasn't achievable for us to do much more than a road trip to the beach. But those memories, even with 5 of us packed into a tiny motel room on the beach, they're really unforgettable. As were some of the fights that resulted from these tight quarters, and in my family, we used to call them bad combinations. And we had quite a few bad combinations in my family, but I'm not going to go into much detail on that, especially if my family's watching this. As I got into college, I still didn't have the means personally to do any kind of exotic travels. But I continued to road trip and take advantage of some of those bare bones student discount trips. After college, I had this wild, crazy idea that I'll start a travel agency. Why not? So along with a friend from college, we opened a travel agency, and it was called Omni Travel Center, located in Costa Mesa, California. It's long gone now. I've driven by it on occasions over the years to see what new business has come and gone in our space. Probably a hair salon, a donut shop, something like that at this point. I can tell you that owning a travel agency and never having really seen the world was quite a challenge. So I poured myself into brochures. This was before the internet days. I'm not going to say when, don't want to age myself too much, but I can just tell you it was a long time ago. I slowly started to get out there, and my first international trip was the classic one. 1 week, split between London and Paris. And let's say after that, I was totally hooked. After a few years, we did sell the travel agency because we realized 10% profit margins wasn't going to sustain any type of lifestyle, including a travel lifestyle. So I got back into corporate life, but thankfully a career turn took me away from corporate life and back into the entrepreneurial world, where I've been for the last 25 years. I have run several successful online businesses over the last 2.5 decades, and really well before it was cool and an everyday thing to run these remotely, and many times from dozens of different countries. I definitely have some wild stories to share, especially about the early days of trying to run a remote business. It was not easy. I'm going to hand this off to my travel partner, Monica, since she was even more of a power traveler than I was, and basically was living my dream when I was really only thinking about it many years ago.
I don't know if I would have called myself a power traveler, but I went on my first trip to Europe, the classic spring break trip in high school, 7 countries in 5 days, and I was hooked. I fell in love. I went back with a friend the next summer for 2.5 months, and we traveled all around with the Euro pass. Then I got exotic, at least for Mesquite, Texas. So I went back the next summer by myself for 7 weeks, and this time I ventured behind the Iron Curtain into Poland, Czechoslovakia, and Hungary. In college, I studied in Vienna for a semester, and during this East-West Studies program, we went back to these countries, plus Russia and Estonia in the Soviet Union. Then the wall fell, I got married, and we started cruising instead.
And actually, Monica's got some really great stories, way more than that we'll probably share in some future videos, especially how much the world has changed here over the last years. So that's all good. That's a little bit about ourselves, but let's talk about what this channel is really going to be about. We know we're never going to be able to produce the amazing vlogs and travelog videos that we see around YouTube with incredible filmographies and drone footage of the great cities and countries of the world. There are amazing people on YouTube doing an incredible job of that, and that's not what we're really trying to achieve. We'll make recommendations to some of our favorites in future videos, but really what we want to focus on is how we and really how you can live this lifestyle, or portions of it if you choose, and how to actually make it happen for yourself. That's what is really most important for us. And we've broken it down by three main areas. And number one is how you live it. Number two is how you experience it. And number three is how you afford it. So let's talk about each one of those three really briefly. So how you live it has everything to do with the basics, such as if you're working nomadically, how do you do that? How do you find the best places to stay? How do you stay connected back to your work, your home, your family, your friends? What tech should you use? How to balance work and play and ensure you have the right balance of both. What if you want to stay fit on the road? It's not an easy thing to do, especially with all the amazing food available right at your doorstep. The second thing we want to talk about is how do you experience it? This has to do with what you do when you're on the ground. Right now, we're in Madrid, Spain. So we had to make all these decisions ourselves as well for the weeks that we're here. How do we find the best things to do? Should we do tours? Should we go independent? Should we do small groups? How do we ensure we have the best cultural experience, but not miss the top sites, but also not throw ourselves into the massive crowds and chaos and just being another tourist out there? How do we get here? How do we move around? And the final piece is really how do you afford it? All the first two are well and good, but we have to be able to afford it. Right? So we're going to spend time sharing the tips, our experiences, our hacks, our strategies, what we've learned along the way to make this a surprisingly and probably shockingly affordable lifestyle. So much so that this year we decided to go all in and we're roaming full time right now. That meant we gave up our condo in Austin, put all our stuff in storage, and we're heading out for the entire year. Now you might be surprised to learn we expect we're going to save 25, maybe even 50% off of what our normal day-to-day was when we lived back home. So we're going all in, we're working remotely and enjoying this full-time. I expect it'll be far cheaper than we were living full-time in Austin, traveling up to half the year. So we're going to share this entire adventure with all of you, plus our strategy and our tactics. So what do you think about that, Monica?
We have amassed a ton of experience over the years and can really help you out. Mark is the planning mastermind and really stays on top of all the hacks and tactics. We've learned a lot over the years and we want to share them with you because we want you to enjoy the same type of travel lifestyle that we have.
Definitely. That's our ultimate goal for the website, for this YouTube channel. So if you wouldn't mind, like I mentioned at the top, hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up on the video. We've got to jumpstart this somehow. In the description of the video, we put our website as well. So we're going to be posting content there on a regular basis. So you can enjoy the YouTube channel, but we'll also be posting on the website. So definitely go there. And the website domain is?
DigitalRoamads.com.
All right. So we appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this first video. So whether it's one of you, 5 of you, or 10 of you, maybe one day we'll get to 50. We're really looking forward to sharing everything that we've learned over the years. So we'll talk to you all soon. Take care.